Of tomorrow's inventory numbers, but first to the breaking news on that massive airbag recall. Just broke in the last hour, the troubled Japanese airbag manufacturer Takata finally declaring, you know what, 33.8 million U.S. vehicles are defective. Regulators are bracing for what will be the largest recall the U.S. auto industry has ever seen. U.S. Transportation Secretary Anthony Fox just spoke about it moments ago. Automakers, yes, they've already recalled of their own volition more than 17 million vehicles with defective airbags that can explode and send shards of very dangerous objects into people. They've done that since 2013. But is this it? Do the recalls stop here? Blake, what are you hearing?
Well, 34 million, nearly 34 million vehicles, Liz, in the United States with Takata airbags now need a checkup and a replacement. The Department of Transportation saying that number has doubled. Transportation Secretary Anthony Fox announcing for the first time Takata, the world's largest airbag manufacturer, admits its airbag inflators are indeed defective. The inflators were made with a propellant that can degrade over time and has led to ruptures. The airbags have also been blamed for 6 deaths worldwide, 5 here in the United States. The DOT head said Takata hasn't identified yet why the airbags are defective, but his agency, he said, could not wait any longer on expanding that recall.
Takata still has not identified the root cause of the defect, but we cannot let that delay our actions that we're taking today. Lives are at stake. It's our job to protect them. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing today.
This expanded recall continues to affect 11 different vehicle companies who make and assemble vehicles all over the world, including Honda, BMW, and Ford, just to name a few. Now, here's what's so important, and you started talking about this, Liz. To find out if your vehicle is affected, all you have to do is go to safercar.gov. That's the website. There you can enter your VIN number, and it will show you any potential recalls, not only with Takata, but really anything that might be outstanding with your vehicle. And to put this in perspective, Liz, this tops the 1982 Tylenol recall. Then it was 31 million bottles. Now it is nearly 34 million vehicles. Liz.
They had to do it. I mean, you know, 6 deaths out of all those. Okay, you could argue that the percentages are small, Blake, but the deaths were brutal. Shards.
And dozens of injuries, too, you're talking on top of those deaths. Yeah.
Absolutely. Had to be done. You don't want to see more of that. Blake Berman, thank you. Well, now what? Millions of us, including me, have cars with Takata airbags in them. Let's bring in Lauren Fix, the car coach. Actually, Lauren, I'm not sure I do, but I do drive a Toyota Lexus, and I saw the logo. I saw it as included there. What do I do to find out if I need that fixed immediately?
Well, first you need to get your vehicle identification number, and that's the number that's right where the windshield meets the dash. And you can write that vehicle number down. You can call either your local dealer, or you can go on safercar.gov, and they have /recalls spotlight, which is kind of harder to get to.
Hold on, give that to us again. Safer vehicle.
Safercar.gov.
Okay, safercar.gov.
/recalls with an S, spotlight. And that should have a complete list. If you don't see your vehicle on there and you're still concerned, call your local dealer, ask for the service department, give them the vehicle identification number known as a VIN number, and they can look it up. If you find it online, I highly suggest printing it out and bringing it with you to the dealer, because we've had situations where the dealer doesn't think it's on the list. You need to be 100% sure, because this is a very serious recall.
Lauren, let me read you some breaking news that we just got. The Takata CEO is now speaking about this, and he is saying that the issue behind the problem was not within the scope of testing specifications outlined by automakers. Is he trying to blame the Hondas and the General Motors and the Fords of the world?
He's trying to pass the blame for sure. I mean, the manufacturers send out a request for quote, and this is what they expect to get when they place their orders. If a sub-company fails to produce that product meeting those specifications, then that's on them. This is something that it's easy to pass off onto the manufacturers, but when there's this many manufacturers and we know that they switch their product that's actually doing the discharge to ammonium nitrate, and this is the product that's causing the problem as it degrades because of moisture, and causes these inflators to ignite too quickly. That's why the metal shards, which is the frame around the airbag that attaches to the steering wheel, that's what's exploding. And this is why we're having a very serious problem. And as far as we can see, the problem belongs to Takata.
Okay, the problem belongs to Takata. You know the lawsuits might start to happen, but it's better to take it on now versus adding a seventh or an eighth death, correct, Lauren?
Absolutely. The last thing we want is anyone to get injured or have any deaths. We've already had 6 deaths, and the injuries have been quite dramatic, as you can see from pictures online. I'm sure you've heard it. They're really upsetting.
Okay, I don't know. Can we show the picture that we had earlier of the VIN? I want to just be able to let people know. It's on the driver's side of your vehicle, and it's usually either a little piece of metal that's stamped, that's on either the glass part of the windshield, here it is, or right there. It's hard to see. So for those of us who wear specs or eyeglasses, get them out there. You got to go look. It's how many numbers is it's a long number, isn't it, Lauren?
It is a long number.
Usually?
It's also on your registration. It's also on your insurance card. So if you're not sure and you don't have that, your insurance card has it on it, your registration has it. I'm sure your paperwork, if you leased a vehicle, it's on there as well, or if you purchased it. So there's a lot of places to find that vehicle identification number, but that is the critical factor to find if this is one of the vehicles.
Okay, owning up. Takata is owning up to it. I'm looking at some stocks here. Toyota's higher, but we do have General Motors, which is slightly higher, not in step with Ford, which is slightly lower, along with Honda, which is slightly lower as well. Here's some car companies right now that are involved. Nissan also down about 2/3%. Who knows how much this might cost? Doesn't matter. The cost of life is more important. Lauren, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Lauren Fix, the car coach.